my absolute pleasure to introduce Elizabeth Collins today, who will be reading out a selection of her poetry. So Elizabeth Connors is joining us all the way from Carlow. She is a traveller poet, a community artist in residence at St. Catherine's Community Services. She has been a recipient of the National Traveller Pride Award, as well as a member of the Carlow Traveller Forum, which identifies themes and issues impacting her community, as well as celebrating the traveller heritage and culture both locally as well as nationally. So please, let's give a warm welcome to Elizabeth.
Hi everyone. My name is Elizabeth Connors, and I'm a traveller woman with 4 adult children. I'm just speaking a bit about today the poem. As I go along with the poem, you'll get a gist of the poem itself. But on the education part, I was taken out of school at 11 years of age. I had no education whatsoever. And we were just speaking about it earlier. It still haunts me that I was taken out of school because I was devastated. Even though I was very young, I had all these ambitions for my life. But sadly, there were 16 of us in our home, and there was 5 married at the time. The rest were, Mammy was trying to bring them up on her own because my father just died. Around when I was 11, that's the time I was taken out of school. And Mammy herself, she had no education whatsoever. Mammy's education was having a baby and one by her side as well. Do you know? And that was, she loved every minute of it. And even there's times I still talk to her to this day, and she goes on about the past and about rearing the children and, you know, everything like that. And that was her education. She had life skills that she learned herself. But if you asked her to spell her name, she wouldn't get to spell her name. But I am privileged that she's my mother. Like, even though I was angry with her for a long time for taking me out of school, I ended up getting married. I had 4 children of my own. There was 2 years apart between them. And all through that time, I was there was a longing inside of me. I couldn't let it go. And I used to go around with a little handbag on my side, pretending that I was a teacher. And I had every God-given right to be one if I wanted to be one. But I had my children and I got married. And even though through the rearing of my children, I was still wanting to be a teacher. It wouldn't leave me. No matter what I did to try and ignore it, it just wouldn't leave me. So I actually started to write. I was away in hospital one time for my children. And I was missing them terribly. And my head was all over the place thinking, like, you know, it's either going to go positive or negative for me now. I can get these emotions out or I can let them bother me. But I read a poem about my children in hospital, and it actually helped me. It healed me a little bit of the pain of missing them. But then I started to, when the kids got older, I started to do poetry at home myself. I used to free write at home, and it helped me in my own challenges in life as well. And then I started St. Catherine's Community Centre, and it was actually there where I was noticed as an artist in my own right by a very good friend of mine. I didn't see it in myself. I didn't believe in myself. I had very, very low self-esteem, and you wouldn't get me up here this minute if you paid me 10 times over. I was just petrified. And I've learned, the more I was public speaking, the more it was getting easier for me as a person, and because you need people to believe in you. You know, sometimes the negativity will come from your own, not from outsiders. I was petrified of my own, what my own people would think. Oh, who does she think she is? Like, do you know, is she pretend to be someone she's not? And these were fears that stayed with me for a long time. And when I published my first book, I was petrified. But it took me 3 years to write the book, because there was days I wasn't able to go in because of fear. But I actually got it done, and I had it launched in St. Catherine's Community Centre in Carlow. And I didn't realise until that morning that the people that were in that room, and most of them are travellers, they were actually like, they were buying the book, and it wasn't about the money. It was, they were so happy for me, and I didn't realise that. Do you know that they get me, like some people get me. So today the poem I'm reading is, it's actually about discrimination in the workplace with traveller men and women. So let's get the poem started because I'll be here forever. I need to get down. The traveller speaks. We will stand up unashamed. You discriminate, you bring hate. You made us the ghost at the back of the room, feeling alone, just wanting to go home. We wanted to belong, to feel part of it. We won't be here for long, they say. Sure, they will be married at 15. Going to school, you had one rule: strip us bare, rip the bows from our hair. We knew it was wrong, but it was the same old song. Nothing could be done. You were scrubbing the traveller out of us, but we stood unashamed. We are the topic for discussion, scum of the earth, dropouts, dirty knackers looking for payouts. Tinkers, you want us out. We were created not on purpose, but for a purpose. We are not acceptable, but yet exceptional. Don't forget, this is our nation too. Together we stand for our rights in this land. We are not weak, we are unique. We have talents galore, but you shove us to the floor. Looking at others making their mark, I questioned, was I done? I took my pencil from my pocket, I made my mark, a line 20 feet long. On the wall in the hall, in tiny letters I wrote my name. Being noticed was my aim, but you gave me shame. But I stood unashamed. Playing in the playground, we felt it. But we were children, we really didn't get it. We stand up unashamed. We are teachers, even when in canteens. In the workplace, we hear what you say. Your hatred, your slander, it echoes all the way. We stand up unashamed. We are teachers, we are singers, we are writers, we are poets. We are tinsmith makers, beady pocket makers, flower crafters, musician, wagon wheel makers, tarmacaden layers, paving the way, that's our way. We are loud, we are proud, we stand out from the crowd. Where is your compassion for the child you pretend to teach? A little time and effort to a child, they would feel they are alive and worthwhile. Never been invited to parties, you had one rule: don't bring them home, that wouldn't be cool. On this journey called life, we don't need this strife. You don't know us, yet you define us. We won't let you kill our dreams. We will be the light that shines bright. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you so much for those incredibly moving words, Elizabeth. There's so much in that to take away, but yeah, thank you so much. That was incredibly powerful. One more round of applause before we move on.